We thought we'd done everything that we possibly could to set ourselves up for a comfortable retirement. Their emails, their website was pulled down, everything's gone, you can't find them. I look at things so differently now. I don't trust anything. I'm empty, drained.
Tammy Linderham has been replaying the events of recent months over and over in her head. She's trying to understand what has happened to her $750,000 nest egg and the company she trusted to invest it.
It still doesn't feel real.
But the encounters she had with a Capital Guard executive were real. From a face-to-face meeting in a bustling business district to drinks at an upmarket bar. And a sponsorship deal for an organisation linked to her famous sporting family. Tammy now fears that legacy has been damaged and her retirement savings are gone for good.
Oh, this just destroys me. Absolutely destroys me.
Last year, Tammy and her husband John Wickham started thinking about boosting their retirement savings. She decided to research bonds. When you invest in bonds, you're lending money to a company or government in exchange for regular interest payments.
My plan was to invest $750,000 in bonds, which would pay an income of approximately $78,000 a year in interest.
After filling out an online form, she received a call from a helpful consultant for wealth management firm Capital Guard.
So I did look at the ASIC website and looked at their details, how long they'd been registered, what their services were. I looked at very closely at their financial licence.
In September last year, Tammy agreed to meet Capital Guard's head of finance, Vassos Dimitriou, at an office in Collins Street, where she decided to invest. Just a few months later, the executive wanted to meet again, this time inviting Tammy and her husband to join him at a rooftop bar in the CBD.
It was a meeting at 5:30 and went for a couple of hours, and he bought cigars and wine. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
He arrived with a tempting offer to help Tammy honour her family's sporting history.
Walter Linderham, my great uncle and godfather, was the most amazing billiards player. My father, Horace Linderham, was also a world champion snooker player.
For 5 generations, Linderham men have proved themselves masters of cue and ball.
Tammy was setting up a network to support women in the male-dominated sports. Capital Guard would sponsor the group for $50,000 if she bought more bonds.
I was over the moon.
As part of the sponsorship deal, Capital Guard created marketing material promoting the partnership. Tammy had been proud to team up until a couple of months ago when she received a tip-off that things with Capital Guard might not be what they seemed. She unsuccessfully tried to withdraw her savings before the interest payments suddenly stopped.
So yeah, it's pretty soul-destroying.
But it's not just about the money for Tammy.
Setting up this network was my contribution to my family's legacy.
Then in late June, the corporate watchdog cancelled Capital Guard's financial services licence for dishonest conduct. It's alleged the company sold bonds that didn't exist.
I was gobsmacked.
What the couple didn't know is that Capital Guard had been on ASIC's radar for months, even before they'd invested. In May last year, Macquarie Bank issued a public warning about scammers claiming to be from Capital Guard, attempting to sell fake bank-branded bonds. In July, it made a formal complaint to ASIC. Others in the finance industry did too. The regulator launched an investigation in September, but the company kept trading until the end of June this year, 11 months after the first official complaints were made.
If they had acted then, I would still have my $750,000.
This week, a court approved a request to wind up Capital Guard after ASIC's investigation allegedly found 80 investors transferred more than $17 million to the company, and most of that money is missing. Capital Guard's business address was this prestigious office tower overlooking Sydney Harbour, but the director's home address is a long way from here. Today we're in Melbourne. We're just heading out to an address in the city's north on the outskirts, and that's because the person named as the director of Capital Guard appears to live out here. There is a car out the back, but it doesn't look like anyone's home. This week, the court heard director Mark Tassian claims he was not involved in running Capital Guard, but he did open bank accounts for the company and provided the login details to the previous director, Vassos Dimitriou, the man Tammy says she met with. I tried to call him.
Your call could not be connected. Please check the number and try again.
ASIC alleges of the $17 million invested with Capital Guard, $4.1 million was spent in currency exchanges, and $9 million went to crypto platforms.
There needs to be a rapid response, and I don't believe there was a rapid response into this case.
Private investigator Ken Gamble has built a career out of busting international fraud rings.
We gather a lot of intelligence in relation to financial crime groups that are conducting scams and frauds all over the world.
In February this year, he was contacted by a source who made allegations about a group of foreign nationals overseas.
They were in the process of establishing financial payment gateways in Australia.
One of the names mentioned rang alarm bells for Ken because he suspects the foreign national was a key player in a multi-million-dollar scam he investigated in 2023.
Those perpetrators had left a trail of victims in Australia.
The Private Eye detailed the claims in an intelligence report, which also alleges Vassos Dimitriou from Capital Guard had been communicating with the group.
In early March, I notified the Australian Federal Police.
When contacted by 7:30, a lawyer for Vassos Dimitriou didn't respond to the allegations, and the AFP declined to comment on Ken Gamble's report. While ASIC did respond to claims, it was too slow off the mark, saying in a statement this work is complex and that it needed to carefully investigate such matters before deciding what action to take in a way that does not precipitate investor losses.
Welcome to Australia, the country where you can buy legally fake bonds.
Ziggy Schmidt believes if action had been taken sooner, he would still have the $700,000 he earned during his decades-long civil engineering career.
Practically all my life, I built houses, towers, all the other, structures.
In February, he invested his retirement savings with Capital Guard.
I ran a few companies in my life, and it was, for me, it was obvious to check the company. I checked all the information which was on ASIC.
Between February and April, he transferred money for 7 different bonds.
I always remembered about diversification. So that's why I bought 7 different. So my risk was, subdivided.
Everything appeared to be going smoothly until his interest payment didn't arrive last month. His Capital Guard account manager called to reassure him it was on its way, but he never received the money.
It's very difficult to describe this because my English is, as you hear, not the perfect, especially when you want to express your feelings. Every day was worse and worse and worse. I feel terrible.
Before this happened, Ziggy had been working as a rideshare driver a few days a week to keep his mind active. He's now working more shifts because he has no choice.
Next year I'm 72, so how long will I can do it?
The incident has rocked his faith in his adopted home of 25 years.
I trusted Australia. That's why I migrate here to Australia. They are real people with real passports, real licenses, real permissions, and real intentions to be your friend. Everything was to gain trust, and they did it, unfortunately.